more than a decade ago, and almost 2 decades ago. And he's been trying to fundamentally rethink on what is education, what is its purpose, what is it supposed to give, and what is the promise of education that is given to us, and is it living up to that promise or not. So we thought it will be interesting to have him here with us, share his experiences, share his journey, why he got into this quest to begin with, and in the last 20 years, what has he learned, what does he see the future of education as. So, so please welcome Manish
So how's everyone today? Everyone's awake or no? A little bit nap time, no? Siestas? You know about siestas? So let's do a little thing, little small game if you guys can all stand up. Oh, so we're going to play a little game. You can first just shake your shoulders and sit up. It's a little bit dangerous, so don't try this at home. This is called the Salam Namaste game. Right? And so what you do is, everyone knows how to say Namaste, right? This is how we've been conditioned to say it our whole lives, Namaste. So just do that quickly to everyone around you. 360 degree Namaste. Salam Namaste, you can do that, right? Okay, so let's just mix it up a little. Let's give a little high five to the persons. So we want to do, so it's not just the guys right and left, back and front, everyone we can touch and make. Salam Namaste. So you're doing, I told you it's very dangerous, so don't write this home. So since you're kind of sitting in a weird structure, we're going to do another one, which is called the same game. Salam Namaste. Salam Namaste. Go ahead, Namaste. Head to head, head to head.
Salam Namaste.
Head to head, head to head. Let us see if we can have a real meeting of the minds. Did you guys do that with everyone? What happened? Head to head? There we go, there we go. Don't break anything. Okay, and let's see. Salam Namaste. Salam Namaste. Salam Namaste. Don't be so shy. I didn't know you guys are so shy here. One more time. I'm doing it with. Let me just see as you guys. Anyone want to come up and do it with them? Okay. Let's see. So. Salam Namaste.
Salam Namaste. Salam Namaste. But we can't do it.
You can't do it. You guys are all in the jail, right? In this cage. So. All right. One more. Salam Namaste. Jain, magic one. Welcome the person into the class today. Come on. Give a tight one, yeah. Come on. You guys have not heard that hugging is the best medicine, right? You heard that? Why so shy then? When I used to go to class, I would be the first thing is to hug all my mates. Welcome into, let's have an awesome day together. No. So can we do it one more time? Just give a nice jadoo ki chappi to your guys near eye. Welcome them in. Don't be afraid.
I can see the parrot there. Do you think if the cage is opened, it will fly out? That's happening with some of you people. Come on, let's try it again.
One more time. Give a good one. To the person behind you too. Right? Say hello. this whole, I want you to just take 1 second and notice. See, you see there's a cage there, right? There it is in the cage. You just see the structure that we are sitting in. Does this structure create warmth and relationship and connection, or does the structure, the way of seating, does it divide us or make us feel disconnected from each other? Think about that. So we can do one thing which you haven't heard me say. You could take and throw out the structure from the room, or you could get up and sit in a very different way that we could feel more connected to those around us. Or you could choose to remain in your silo. You don't care who's on your left, who's on your right, who's behind you. It's just you, the only person who has to, win in the game. But you can see how, just a small way, how the structures that we have all the time, very subtle. Some very subtle, some very obvious in our day-to-day life. And then this whole thing, why is it, hugging is one of the most ancient. You're in a technology institute, right? Is this a technology institute? Right? So the most ancient technology that human beings have is hugging. And how come you guys are so shy about it? I thought you guys were technology guys. It's much easier to hug our iPhone or our iPad than to hug each other. Is that what it's now? What do you guys think? So, simple act, simple thing, very powerful. No computer, no technology has been able to replicate the kind of feeling and connection that happens when we hug each other. So, can we try once more? And try it for 20 seconds if you can. I know you're really shy. I know people that, I didn't know Hyderabad is very shy, but we can try once more. Come on. It's not working, huh? Okay. Try hugging a stranger if you can. So, you see, this itself could be a long discussion around what happens us through our education, right? Growing up as children, right? The most profound act we may have experienced was our mother, or our father, or our grandparents, or somebody giving us a hug, and like this. And yet we've become so distant from it, right? The spaces we're creating, these academic, rational, logical spaces, make us so, absurdly afraid to show any kind of vulnerability, any kind of connection with each other. So it's something to reflect on. It could be a whole long other discussion, but I would just want to plant that seed to think about it. Why is it? Why is it that it's so difficult for us to hug somebody else in this room? That's not anyways the topic, but it is in a way. So part of the journey that I have been on is a recovery of these very profound technologies. Because I feel that we have been duped, we have been made confused, we have been set on the wrong path by technology, modern technology. And so this recovery of very basic, fundamental, other human, emotional, psychological, spiritual technologies is part of a journey. So this looks like a very simple act, right? Almost foolish, almost ridiculous. But it is a very radical act. And it has a very radical power. How many of you see, there's a video that was out, Free Hugs, did you ever see that? So that gives you a sense, and how many people saw that? Yeah. So that gives you a sense of a society, when it goes in extreme technology, how disconnected it can become from each other. That even a hug becomes such a radical thing that the police are trying to ban it, people from hugging, from connecting, or the authorities, So anyways, you can all sit down. Yeah, thank you. If you want to shift or anything, anyone wants to come closer to me, you're welcome. Yeah. How are the guys way in the back? That's like they're sitting up in North India up there, right? How's it going? You're all okay? Yeah. So let me ask you, let's start off with a couple of questions. And in please, I am Shikshantar. What should I tell you? So we started Shikshantar 18 years ago. Our journey led us from believing that education was a solution for the problems facing society to an understanding that education might be the most criminal activity that society is undertaking against innocent children, against youth. So this journey to explore if we actually think that education might be not something good, then it raises a whole lot of confusions and questions about what are we actually doing. No. So let me just ask you two questions. So we started Shikshantar, just before I start, was a space for those who stopped believing in education. Those who had stopped believing that school was a good thing or a useful thing. Those who had been labeled by school as a failure. Right? Lots of people get labeled like that. That they could have a place to go and reclaim their dignity and their role and their meaning without enter into this rat race of degrees and packages and all of that. So Shikshantar was a place that was created really. I have a 14-year-old daughter. I should tell you two things what are interesting. Long time ago, I did my master's at Harvard, and I've been unlearning everything I've learned from there for the last 18 years. I'll tell you what that means in a while. And I have a 14-year-old daughter, and she's never gone to school in her life. She only has been to schools, you know, like they take children to the zoo to watch the children in the cage, the animals in the cages. So she's visited some schools to see the children sitting in cages. And she was shocked by the fact that people have to raise their hand and say, "Sir." What is it? Which finger is it? This one? Sir. That human beings are in such a cage that they even have to ask permission to go to the toilet. She was shocked that what is this kind of system? This is so humiliating for people. So she decided she never wanted to go to school. So let me ask you a question. If you found out tomorrow, don't be depressed by these questions, please. If you found out tomorrow that everything you're doing here, right, your course, this degree, you find out tomorrow that there's no job available for you because of it. Your course, your degree will not give you any job. How many of you will choose to stay here? Okay, so there's some deeper psychological issues that we need to explore together. Right? So that's one. So the second thing, so the majority of people around in India, around the world, are in universities and colleges because for the package, right? For the job, for the package. Very few people we found are actually there for real learning. Second thing, if you could get a very meaningful work, like a meaningful, amazing work, and it didn't require you to have a degree or a diploma, how many people would go for that? Right? So there's a different thing. That we've been presented, the educational structure is constructed on this idea you need this piece of paper, otherwise you can't get a good job or meaningful work. I won't even say good job because there's a very interesting thing you may have heard that there was a study done around the world and they found that 60% people hate their jobs. Does that surprise you? Professionals like you will be. They actually hate their jobs. How many people have heard this or seen this? Yeah? So, when I'm saying good, meaningful work is actually something you love doing. If I were to ask those people, all of those people who are in jobs, how many of you are doing a job or a work that you really believe is something really great for the world? How many of you would think they would say, how many percent would say, yeah, what I'm doing today is really awesome for the planet? How many professionals? What percentage? Any guesses? No guesses? 5% you think? Anyone else? I mean, you have friends who are working, you have relatives who are working. How many of them do you think really are doing something they really believe is really great for the planet? The well-being of all humanity and all beings on the planet. Any other guesses? Yes, yes. What's your guess?
The guess,
What percentage?
I would guess the percentage is reasonably high. It should be more than 30%. But the perception goes that if you are thinking along those lines, then you see those people who are doing so. If you are not, then they are invisible. You only see the other.
So I don't know, my experience is different. I've worked in actually all kinds of fields, investment banking, and worked with UN, UNESCO, with World Bank, with many NGOs. So my experience is that less than 1% actually believe in what they're doing. They're doing it why? Because of the money. They need the money, or they don't see that they have choices. So let me make a proposition to you. Tomorrow, I'm going to deposit 1 crore rupees in your bank account. No? Yes? Is it good or not? Who's ready for that? Yeah. So, here's the deal. You know, anyways, this modern capitalist economy told you nothing's for free, right? So here's the deal. 1 crore, whoever wants it, you have to give me something. You have to give me your kidneys, your liver, your eyeballs. Some of you guys, I don't think you, but some others have very nice hair, so we can sell the hair in the open market, right? Your hands, your feet. Basically, in the open market, every part of your body can be sold and get for money. So if you did the calculations, you could easily you would get 1 crore, and I would also make maybe 1 crore out of that. So we'd be in a good deal together, right? So how many are you ready for that deal? Anyone wants it? No? 1 crore rupees you're walking away from. Why not? Sir, are you ready for it? 1 crore.
The devil asks for the soul. The devil asks for the soul.
So,
hands, feet and eyes, eyeballs are much less.
but you see, I think I'm giving you a much better deal than what the global market is giving you. You will be putting the best years of life working for companies who will give you far less. In those companies, they will take everything from you. Your blood, your sweat, your tears, your emotions. Right? The best years of your life. You'll end up like here, Abhijit sir and me, and you'll be like, where did my life go? What do I have to show for it? A bank account? Or I should have done the deal with Manish. I would have gotten a crore much earlier. Right? So why does this deal not make sense to you? Can anyone tell me? Why does this deal not make sense to you? Anyone? Like, these people don't know how to speak. Is this a special needs class or something? Anyone? Yes. Come on, guys.
they are not usually this silent. Maybe they are absolutely either flabbergasted or...
Yeah. Why doesn't the deal make sense to you? Can you turn up the volume? So you don't feel I'm genuine, is that what it is? Or you don't think that you could actually do that and get 1 crore?
I'm saying that we probably feel that we're doing good work later on. We need not necessarily feel that we're like giving our blood, sweat, like the way you said it.
Right.
Later on.
You don't feel like you think that you can have a better future afterwards.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah.
I think whatever jobs people do, they do provide some sort of value to us.
See, I would propose to you something for investigation.
Okay.
The last 100 years of jobs, every single industrial job has led to the demise of the planet. The last 100 years of industrialized jobs, every single one has led to the demise of the well-being of the planet. This is a proposal for you to think about. Nobody would like to tell you that because we say, oh, we're making such good progress. Right? The whole mythology that we have been fed. See, you were taught, weren't you guys taught Bronze Age and then Stone Age? Is this what you're taught? No, Stone Age, Bronze Age. Right? Isn't that something in your sense? So this whole linear march of technology as being an indicator of some kind of human progress is a whole lie that we've been fed. That this is the way to understand human progress. But if we actually look at it from another lens, well-being on the planet, if we look at it from the lens of ecosystems and biodiversity on the planet, then the last 100 years has been the worst. Worst for the well-being of humanity and for all species on this planet. So maybe we need to actually start to think of, what I'm proposing is that we think of the next 100 years, we will have to think of a whole range of new kinds of careers and possibilities and work, which is really geared towards regenerating life on the planet. Right? And that is something that our schools and our colleges and our universities are not preparing us for. The history of schooling, modern schooling, you all know it? Why was it started? Anyone know? No, that's when it came to India. The history of modern schooling in the West was to first produce obedient soldiers. Because they found that a lot of times their soldiers, there was one war that happened in Prussia, the king found that, hey, I want to fight this guy, go and kill him. Right, go and kill that guy. People started saying, hey, wait a second. Harsh is a good guy, why do we want to kill him? You have a personal problem, we're not going to fight for you. We don't want to kill him. He's not our enemy. Right? So you can imagine, actually it's a very difficult thing to take something and try to kill somebody. It really is it's glamorized in pictures and films and things, but to try it, to do it is a really difficult thing. And people, most of the time, not only physically, but emotionally, psychologically, if you start doing it, you can see it plays a tremendous role on you too. It's really debilitating for you. So, people had to be told, let's not question the authority. Right? The most obvious cases with soldiers, right? What happens if you question the general? Yaar, humko nahi marna un logon ko. What would happen to you? What would happen? Sedition charges, you would be court-martialed, you would be thrown out. Maybe your other guys they would be told, shoot this guy before he creates too much of a disturbance. Right? So, rather than do that, you need to create a system where everyone is obediently playing. Right? So that was where the roots of modern schooling. Later on, You started to create a bigger system. You needed obedient factory workers, right? You needed obedient factory workers who would be trained to do the same mundane, boring, stupid task every single day of their life for the next 40 years and not be questioning that, right? You needed clerks to work in the government and work in the businesses to move all this money and not question, why is the money only going in the hands of a few? Right? And most importantly now, which we are all living today, the most important is you need a base of consumers. Really stupid consumers who would like to wear all kinds of things on their t-shirt. Who's wearing this? Let me ask this person here. Oh, here, stand up one second. What's her name? Venkat. Everyone look at this. Venkat is going to give us some money at the end of this session. You know you have to pay money for hoardings, advertisements, right? So Venkat is advertising to us without our permission. He's gotten a commission from Adidas. So we want our cut too. You're coming into our class wearing Adidas and advertising to us. Where's our cut? You got a commission from them, right? I hope you were smart enough to ask them for a commission and not pay them money to advertise for them. Right? So this gives you a taste of where we are advertising for huge corporations for free. And this, I tell people, is the most expensive advertising space on the planet. Why? Why? Any ideas? Connected to our heart. Right? So if we put the right energy into the things that are here, a different kind of magic starts happening.